Welcome back to Where's Watches, everyone. I've been putting away this video, but we need to talk about this. We need to talk about the tariffs. How does it affect the industry? How does it affect this particular channel? It's big. It is really big. I thought it was going to blow over in a week. It's not blowing over. It's just getting heavier and worse. And the worst thing about this is that most of the watches that this channel recommends are Chinese watches because they're budget, they're high quality, and yeah, they undercut the market in terms of premiality, looks, function, feature set, etc. They are really good product. Now, about a third of my viewers are from the US, and I love it. I get great commentary, and of course, I do fund my new purchases for the channel through affiliate sales. So, easy maths. A third of my viewers are from the US, a third of my sales are from the US, approximately. So that's the way it looks. But now we've got this issue where we got these massive tariffs. And I can understand the Americans. They can't buy this with these huge tariffs looming. One day it's 84%, the same day it's 125, later in the day it's 145. Is it going to go to 200, 300? What's going on? China is retaliating. They're also saying, no, we're not just going to sit there and sit back. We want a bit of respect, which is fair. I'm not going to get into the geopolitical accents here. That's not my business. My business is watches, and I'm feeling the trade is suffering. I can only imagine, well, I probably can't even imagine what's happening in the US. It's probably something we had during that pandemic times when people are just going out scurrying to buy things before prices increase. Because if I look around my office, everything I see is mostly produced in China. Yeah, so quite an issue. But I didn't want to drag this out. I've got a couple of opinions that I've got written down here, which I wanted to discuss with you. A couple of the scenarios that could play out. And I want to have this more of a open discussion with my viewers. Yeah, let's share some thoughts, let's share some opinions, let's think of the way forward. All right, so if any of these points do relate to yourself, if you have any sort of opinion about it, commentary, just let me know in the comments below. So first of all, what I'd like to talk about is, I think, the most obvious question, right? Buy now or buy later. I know there's one rule in basically any market. If the price goes up, very rarely does it go down. And that is a key point. So what does that mean? Should we, let's say you're in the US, should you be buying watches from AliExpress that you really like or any other Chinese platform? Well, that's a good question. Because technically prices are going up because of tariffs, right? That's what you'd think. But that's not what we are seeing. I'm seeing that AliExpress prices are actually increasing across the board. So if I'm looking at watches only, I can see the Pagani designs, the Addis dives, the steel dives, which were usually sitting in the $50 to $60 mark. That's just, the watches I sort of thrive on Where's Watches on this channel, right? The budget, but premium looking watches, good spec set, sapphire crystal, automatic movements, maybe some mecha quartz, hybrid quartz movements, stainless steel, real leather, whatever, right? But yeah, these middle of the road prices, so $40 to $60, all of a sudden, right now, open up AliExpress, look at the best deals, the prices are about 20-25% more expensive. But not just for Americans, across the board. So if we track back to the buy now or buy later, for the Americans, I don't know. Would I wait? I'd probably wait because there's risk. You order in an item, by the time it comes, the tariff is going to be 300%. Would I risk it? I wouldn't, personally, so I'd wait. See what happens. But for the rest of us, like I'm in the UK, somebody's viewing from South America, someone's viewing from Africa, from Australia, New Zealand, the rest of Europe, well, the prices have gone up for all of us. And it's not because of the American viewers or anyone, it's just about this trade war. So all of a sudden, there's speculative price rises across the platform. So for us, we don't have a choice. I'm buying more stock. Every month, I buy 12 to 15 watches. And I have to pay the premium prices now. Considering I share my eBay sale videos, you can see that I'm not getting my money back. So for me, this is not a very good situation. But hey, now if we go back to the point, buy now, buy later for the US guys, I'd probably wait, because now it's too risky. How do I see this playing out in the US? Well, if the US buyers are going to be not avoiding AliExpress, but basically maybe even AliExpress avoiding US, what happens? Well, it's clear there's going to be a new market forming. And most likely it's going to be the resale market. So there are a lot of watch buyers across the US, right? It's a huge population, like over 400 million people. And there's a big market for these great Chinese watches. Like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Pagani designs and Ares dives have been basically flooding US. So I'm sure the eBay market in the US is going to be quite rich, and I think that is great. Now, for me, it's easy to say that, right? Because for me, this channel, yeah, I'm funding some of my purchases through affiliate sales, but more of a hobby channel. So I'm just going to be happy that the people in the US do have variety, that they can still enjoy really cool watches, and they can just sell them on eBay, buy them on eBay. So that does create the variety. Of course, I'd want more sales from the US, but I'm sure I can wait, right? Because this has to blow over. Well, I hope so. Another interesting question is this actually the end of the AliExpress era? Is it though? That's a key question. There are other Chinese platforms, but I don't think they're as good on the deliveries, on the quality fronts as AliExpress. But is this a move to squeeze AliExpress out? Potentially. Or maybe AliExpress decides to squeeze out itself because the market is huge in Europe and other countries. I don't know. That's an interesting one. But if it does get squeezed out, what will it mean for budget watches, right? Because the demand is great in US. They need, when there's a mouth to feed, it will get fed. But how? Well, this is another interesting point. Potentially, this means this is an opportunity. Every crisis, technically, is an opportunity. I know, it usually takes balls and capital, but that's what the books teach us. So what I'm thinking here is that potentially this is an opportunity for Eastern Europe, maybe Africa, maybe other countries in Asia to step up, I don't know, Indonesia, Malaysia, India. Like, we know that AliExpress does not work in India. Well, how about, again, I'm not throwing out any ideas, I'm just thinking that this is potentially an opportunity for new markets to expand, to start providing services, providing builds, and actually selling them on to US, right? So again, create a bit of competition to AliExpress, because we know there is no competition to AliExpress now. It's basically the prices are insane, delivery times are getting better and better, quality is up there. Yeah, this is interesting. It's creating a shift. It's a whole shift in the market. But once again, for the US buyers, just wait, right? I would not risk paying double on tariffs or whatever for the pieces you want to get. On the other hand, if you love your watches, there's enough variety on eBay. Just go in there. You want some new watches, used watches, knock off a couple of dollars and get yourself a nice watch. But wait it out. Also, I would say that if you were thinking of creating a brand, if you want to do your own watches, well, potentially this is the time. If you ever had any ideas of starting up a resale or a sale platform, this could also be a great time. Now, I don't know who exactly I'm telling this to, but my views as a whole, I think this is an opportunity to maybe refocus our attention away from just China. Is that a good thing? Don't know. Currently, the AliExpress platform is the only one that provides really awesome pieces, like specifically watches, but it's across the board, isn't it? Well, maybe it's not going to be a bad thing if we get some competition, and not just Chinese competition, but we actually get something from India, or we get something from Indonesia, Malaysia, Vietnam. Maybe we get something from Eastern Europe, or Africa, or South America. I don't know. As I'm saying it, I'm actually thinking this is actually not a bad idea. Anyways, I wanted to have this chat with you because this is huge. This is huge, and a lot of people are getting impacted in very different ways. Anyways, if you do have any opinions, good, bad, commentary, let me know in the comments below. It'll be really interesting to hear your thoughts on this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.